ancient station stood in the quiet embrace of early evening, its worn bricks and iron arches bathed in the soft amber light of gas lamps flickering gently against the approaching dusk. The scent of old leather suitcases, coal smoke, and faint perfume mingling in the cool air like the residue of countless stories waiting to be told. And along the polished stone of the wide platform, footsteps echoed softly, belonging to travelers both familiar and strange, their conversations hushed as though they all instinctively knew that this particular train, the one resting like a sleeping beast in the shadows of the far tracks, was not bound for ordinary destinations, but instead headed somewhere between memory and dream, carrying within its compartments the quiet weight of forgotten songs, long lost faces, and unspoken hopes pressed into the folds of ticket stubs and handwritten letters tucked into coat pockets. Among these passengers stood a solitary man, neither particularly old nor notably young, his weathered overcoat buttoned neatly against the cool breath of evening, one hand tucked calmly into his pocket, while the other delicately balanced an old suitcase scuffed by the careless embrace of travel, yet still holding itself together with the quiet dignity of something that had seen many goodbyes and hopeful reunions. In his hand, lightly curled between his fingers like something fragile, rested a single, slightly faded ticket, its corners soft and curling inward, the ink on its face whispering the name of a destination that stirred something deep within him, not recognition exactly, but that curious wordless pull one feels when standing before a half-remembered melody or catching the scent of something both new and deeply nostalgic all at once. With a gentle motion, as though afraid to wake the train from some delicate slumber, he stepped forward, polished boots clicking lightly against the ancient stones beneath him. The nearest carriage door waiting patiently, like the entrance to an old friend's home, brass handle warm from the soft memory of thousands of other hands having passed this way before, and as he climbed the worn steps into the gentle golden glow of the interior, he felt as though the very air inside held its breath in slow motion, and the world outside that glass already seemed to belong, not to the strict divisions of past or present, but to that special place between moments, like the stillness between one breath and the next, where everything waits to become something new. Then, with a soft, almost tender sigh, the train stirred beneath him, not in a sudden jolt, but with the graceful, deliberate rhythm of something old stretching after a long nap, wheels beginning to turn with that hypnotic metallic hum, each rotation a gentle heartbeat beneath the soles of his boots, and the platform outside began to slip away, its lines and shapes blurring under the weight of twilight, lamplight turning into stretched ribbons of gold behind them. Passengers folding gently into silhouettes as the train pulled them all forward into the soft embrace of distance. Beyond the station, the countryside unfurled like a forgotten painting. Rolling hills painted in deep greens and muted browns, brushed by wildflowers leaning gently toward the passing wind. Fences and trees rising and falling in rhythmic succession, each moment gently giving way to the next, as though the world itself were breathing in perfect harmony with the turning wheels. And in that unfolding landscape there was something ancient, something more than the simple passage of land. It was as though they were not merely moving through space, but slipping carefully along the edge of memory itself, drifting over rivers that might have once carried childhood paper boats, or past cottages glowing faintly in the distance where laughter once lived long ago. The soft rattle of china from a passing tea trolley punctuated the silence gently, like the delicate chime of bells in a faraway temple, and as the attendant offered warm drinks and neatly folded linen napkins to other passengers, the traveler closed his eyes briefly, letting the mingling scents of strong black tea, warm bread, and distant rain fill the quiet spaces between his thoughts. Somewhere down the corridor, soft music played from a gramophone, not lively or demanding, but slow and wandering, a lone violin tracing ancient melodies with the kind of gentle hesitation that speaks of love letters never sent and promises whispered only into the folds of pillowcases during restless midnight hours. And outside, the soft fields began to stretch wider, folding into long meadows